Hey, what's up? It's DeHuff. It's another episode of DeHuff Uncensored. I hope you're having a great day. I am. Can't wait to get into the pod. Don't forget, real quick, hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening. Today's podcast is presented to you by Superbook Sports Colorado, as well as Blake Street Tavern. Tons of great stories to get to today, including one, whether you're a Denver Bronco fan or not, this could be something that you could be presented with your favorite team. So we'll get into that here in a second. This week is the anniversary of when Mark Schlereth, former Denver Bronco offensive lineman, current analyst for Fox Sports, current morning show host for 104.3 The Fan in Denver. This is the 3-year anniversary of when he broke my ribs. He was showing off some wrestling moves because back in the day, he was a state champion in Alaska. And what better way to demonstrate your moves than by, body slamming your producer. And that's what happened. I'm going to play the video for you so you can hear the sound of it and you can really hear the impact of when my ribs broke. And we'll react to it just after that.
So now what you would do is, as you wrestle, you tie up first, right? So you're doing this. So I want to get in here, and then I want to get right here. You see this? You see the power I've got right there? Now I want him to push back on me. And then right here, I'm getting in. This is the side right here. And once I get him, then I stick my legs out there. You see that?
Oh, that's a pity.
Look how red his head is. It's very red. Are you okay?
That was great.
If he dies, he dies. If he dies, he dies.
Oh, are you okay?
First of all, thank you so much to denversports.com, 104.3 The Fan for the video. Although it was taken with my camera, give credit where credit is due. Raj Sharon and Sean Brennan were the only people in that giant group of people that were watching me get body slammed. They were the only two people that asked if I was okay. Everybody else was just like making jokes about like my head looking like it's going to explode, like a giant red zit, and then whatever. That's the thing. You hear so many chuckles in that. But those were the only two individuals that actually were seemingly concerned about my well-being. So I appreciate those individuals. Everybody else can burn in hell. Okay? So here's a little rewind to that video. And like I said, you could hear it when I hit the ground. It's like that, this weird sound. And that was most likely the sound of Mark's wrist hitting the concrete and then my ribs hitting his wrist. Just bad combo. Anyway, so right before we do this video, we were talking on the air, talking about how Mark had the signature move, and this is what he used to do to pin his opponents, and then that's ultimately what led to him winning the state championship in Alaska. And he's like, let's do the video, and I'll just cradle you down, Scott, to the ground, and it'll be fine. It'll be a great way to demonstrate it. It'll be a funny video. We'll make it funny. And I'm thinking in my head, okay, what's he going to do? Because Mark is very funny and just very good at, shooting from the hip when it comes to just taking a comical stand on things. So I'm thinking at first, like, he's going to cradle me down and gently show me how he's doing it. And then maybe like he's tucking in a baby in the bed, in the crib, just settles me down, tucks in my covers, gives me a gentle kiss on the forehead and says, you're going to be somebody someday, aren't you? And then we're good. And it's a funny video. But then right before they say action, Mark comes to me and he says, and he whispers, and he's like, we're just going to have to go fast on this because that's just the only way it's going to work. I'm like, didn't even really think about it. I'm like, yeah, sure. He's like, you'll be fine. I'll still kind of cradle you down. I'm like, yeah, sounds fine. Sounds fine. I'm a big dumb idiot. Sure, why not? So it happens, and then it goes so quick, and as soon as I hit the ground, I lose air in my lungs. I got the wind knocked out of me. I mean, I had at the time, I want to say Schlereth weighed about 250 pounds-ish, and it just, you have that just landing on top of you, and then mixed with his hand on the concrete and that punching essentially into my ribs, I mean, I just lost all air. I couldn't breathe. It seemed like at least 5 minutes, but you look at the video, I'm rolling around. It's roughly maybe a minute that I had trouble breathing. And it didn't end the way we wanted to. Mark ended up busting up his wrist for at least a month or so that he had wrist problems. He probably fractured it. And he also messed up his hip. I had never broken ribs before, and it was horrible. Now, it wasn't like my rib snapped in half. I'm not going to say that. I had a fracture, a small fracture, but it was so fucking painful. And I had to go to the hospital. I tried to tough it out, but I'm like, I don't know what you're supposed to do in this situation. I've never had broken ribs. And basically, you go there and they're like, here's some pain meds, go home. I'm like, well, fuck. And then so I go home, and that was it, essentially. It was one of those things where a lot of people get irate when they bring up this video. And they're mad at Mark. And I jokingly say, I'm just a big dumb idiot. I had the opportunity to say, whoa, wait, hold on. Let's kind of walk through this real quick. But I never did. I didn't. I was just as much responsible as Mark. Although I'm not a giant grizzly bear that attacked a small, prey and just body slammed. No. I'm kidding. I was just as much to blame. And it's one of those things, a lot of people talk to me about it. It's more funny to me. I didn't die. I had like a week or two of bad sleeping because you can't sleep in certain directions when you have a busted rib. So it is what it is. I moved on. I don't hate anybody for it. I know the company was scared that I was going to sue them, but I was like, no, I was just as much to blame as anybody. It was a very funny thing. It's still like their number one most viewed video ever at that company. So you're welcome. Whatever. And people are like, would you do that again if you had the chance to redo? And I'm like, yeah, why not? Why not? How many people can say they got their ribs broken by a 3-time Super Bowl champion, multi-Pro Bowler, Fox Sports analyst? Yeah, I'm the only one that I can think of that can say that particular sentence. So, yeah, whatever. He's a lot bigger than me, but I had the opportunity to say no, and I didn't because it didn't go to plan. Shit happens sometimes. God, people. Man, there's still people you bring it up. They're like, Mark is a piece of shit. I hate him. He can burn in hell. Oh my God, people, give it up. I'm fine with it. I've moved on. I never actually had any ill feelings toward him at all for that. So anyway, you know what we need to do? Let's get into some headlines.
Let's go! Let's go!
And now, here are the headlines.
Well, the Denver Broncos did something that doesn't seem to happen very often, but it's not the first time this stuff has happened. I do remember Wade Phillips was a head coach. Then they brought him back to be the defensive coordinator. Well, the Denver Broncos have done it again. They hired their former head coach, Vance Joseph, and he is going to be the new defensive coordinator for the Denver Broncos. Do you like the move? I'm not upset about it. I know they really wanted to get Vic Fangio, and I think that if they had their choice, they would have rather had Vic Fangio, but ultimately now he's with the Miami Dolphins. But I don't think it's a horrible move. It was either Vance Joseph or Matt Patricia, the guy that always had like a pencil in his fucking ear. That guy, or I can't remember who the other one was. But it is what it is. They got him. That's who they hired. Is he going to blow anybody's socks off with his defense? I don't know. The Arizona Cardinals, that's where he was last year. Vance Joseph, I believe, had the worst ranked defense. So hopefully that he steps up his game and he has a better turnout this year with this Denver Broncos defense. This Denver Broncos defense is legit. Can he guide them in the right direction? I hope so. I honestly hope so. And hopefully, I know that Denver sports radio is going to be excited about this because I remember when I was there, all we would do was play Vance Joseph sound bites because he would always say the same cliche things, and we would always pull the sound bites because he would always say somebody was tall. Well, he's a tall guy, and it was like his filler thing to describe a certain player, like any player. Like Paxton Lynch, he's tall. So we used to always play he's tall or random tall sound bites, and sometimes we'd mix and match just to say, he'll be like, yeah, Scott the Huff, he's tall. and obviously he didn't say that. But anyway, so I put it out on Twitter. The Broncos hired their former head coach, Vance Joseph, as their new defensive coordinator. Do you like the hire? Now, as of right now, there's right around 93 votes. That will change here shortly, but kind of poking fun of Vance Joseph, I said, yes, tall move to success, or no, tall move to failure. And the third option, not sure, but tall. So obviously you guys having a sense of humor went with the majority have gone 65.6% with not sure, but tall. Now, if you look at the other two remaining choices, no, tall move to failure is leading the way at 22.6%. And yes, tall move to success is at 11.8%. So a lot of people are really, essentially, I think a lot of that is holding what he did with the Denver Broncos prior. They're just holding that to him and saying, listen, he failed as a head coach for the Denver Broncos. Well, we can't really judge him as the head coach. But that being said, he doesn't really have that great of a track record as a defensive coordinator. I'm not upset with this hire, but I'm not like super excited about it. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, I don't know. I'm not excited about it. I'm sure somebody could spin this in either direction and say, oh, it's a good move because of this, or that, or they could say it's a bad move and here's why. We honestly don't know. And with Sean Payton at the helm for the Denver Broncos, who knows? Who knows what he can get out of Vance Joseph as well. So we'll see. I'm leaning on the side of positivity, but I won't be surprised if we see negative results. And I hate to say that. A study has revealed how drinking Coca-Cola and Pepsi can lead to larger testicles and higher testosterone levels. What? The Northwest Minzu University in China was attempting to determine the impact of carbonated beverages on fertility and sex organs in men. The study looked at 3 groups of mice, one that only drank water, other that drank different levels of Coca-Cola, with another doing the same with Pepsi over 15 days. It was quickly discovered that mice drinking Coke at 100% and Pepsi as well, compared to a mixture of Pepsi and water, had a significant change. For instance, the mice that were given pure Coca-Cola had higher levels of male hormone compared to the group that only drank water. Tests on the rodents included weighing their testicles and drawing blood. They were tested on day 1 as well as 5, 7, 10, and 15. The study concluded that drinking Coca-Cola and Pepsi-Cola could promote testes development and enhance testosterone secretion. This is what they said. Our findings provide the scientific basis for fully understanding carbonated beverage effects and their mechanism on development and reproduction functions of humans and how they benefit the prevention of prostate dysfunction and cancer. A previous survey of 250,000 men showed those who drank a liter of cola a day had 30% lower sperm than those that drank none. That being said, some research has shown caffeine can increase testosterone levels. That's an interesting thing, because I know a lot of people go and get those testosterone shots. How bizarre would it be if a simple cure was to drink Coca-Cola or Pepsi? I mean, now that being said, the side effect is the high intake of sugar and how that's not good for you. So that'd be interesting if that's what they find out. Obviously, then they could once they figure out if this indeed does do the same thing in humans, then they could isolate what particular ingredients or mixtures, whatever, lead to this increased testosterone and testes development. They can isolate that and then make it a pill form and whatever. And I'm sure then you get another different type of injection, I guess. So it's bizarre. It's interesting. And it kind of makes you wish that you were a scientist, because you could just be like, you know what? Let's start testing weird shit on things. Like, so who decides that they're like, let's see if carbonated soda does anything to the sexual reproduction system. What? Okay. Fucking scientist. You're so weird. But you're paving the way. You out thinking outside the box, man. That's way to go, scientist. Way to go. We got more coming your way, but first, make 2023 the year you beat Vegas. Superbook Sports gives you the chance every week to go head-to-head with the best odds makers in Las Vegas. There's no fancy computer algorithms, no guys across the pond setting lines for American sports. Just the best team of odds makers in the business behind the counter at the Superbook in Las Vegas. Plus, Superbook features some of the best odds boosts and promo bets anywhere. So, download the Superbook Sports Colorado app right now or visit superbook.com and start your battle against Vegas right now. Visit superbook.com for terms and conditions. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-522-4700. I'm going to just kind of fire through these because this tends to happen a lot. I see some headlines that are kind of dominating. They're everywhere, but I'm like, I don't really want to get into it. So, you know what? And I need to make an open for this. I don't want to get into it. All right, a 57-year-old flying instructor died while flying a plane. The pilot thought he was pretending to nap for like an hour. The guy's head like plopped onto the pilot's, because this is like a small little Cessna plane, that the flying instructor that was just basically kind of like tagging along, he passes out or pretends to nap, and his head's like laying on the shoulder of the pilot for like an hour, and the pilot's like, he's just pretending because he's not really breathing or making a sound. Then they land. And then he realizes, oh shit, he's dead. Well, no kidding. Who's that committed to a bit? Who is that committed to a joke that they say, I'm going to pretend I'm dead for an hour. And I'm just going to plop my head on somebody else's shoulder while they're flying a plane. That's a hilarious joke. What a moron that pilot is. Come on. I don't get that one. Newlyweds and their wedding party had to be rescued from an elevator in North Carolina. I hate elevators. If there's ever an opportunity for me to take the stairs, I'm taking the stairs. As somebody that used to work in an office building for years and years and years, I saw how many times those elevators just screwed up. And as somebody that used to do traffic reports, I would listen to the police scanners, and you hear everything that goes on for the fire department, police station, all that stuff. And every day, it seemed like there was somewhere in the city or the surrounding cities, the Denver metro area, there was always somebody stuck in a fucking elevator somewhere. And I remember there was times where I had to jump off because there was like 2 feet that the elevator was down below the floor. So I'm like, I don't know if this thing's just going to all of a sudden just drop, or if I'm going to start getting out of it and it's just going to drop. So I like literally would jump out because I didn't know what was going to happen. I had a buddy, Johnny Hart, that got stuck in an elevator, I want to say for like an hour. And he was not doing well. He was kind of getting claustrophobic. He's in there by himself. I wouldn't want to be stuck in an elevator, especially with other people. That's what bugs me. That freaks me out. Could you imagine? You just got married. You got your wedding party. Maybe there's some dick cousin that's in the elevator with you, and you're like, fuck, why is he on the elevator with me? Then the elevator gets stuck, and then you're all just sitting there staring at each other. He's throwing out some lame fucking jokes, and you're like, why the fuck did we, invite this dickhead? And then you're stuck with him until the firefighters rescue you. And then you're like, can you leave that dickhead in there? And they're like, nah, I get it, but no. No. Arizona dog's tongue. A dog in Arizona, I don't know why they wrote it that way. A dog in Arizona's tongue is dubbed the longest in the world by Guinness World Records. This is all I want to say about this. Who the fuck measures their dog's tongue? Okay? So bizarre. You're sitting there looking at him lick himself, and you're like, that's an extra long tongue there. Let's measure it. What's the world record? Oh my God, call the Guinness Book of World Record. It did remind me, though. I had this dog named Logan. Huge old dong on this thing, right? And I remember I'm watching TV, and there'd be times where I'd catch him licking himself, and I'd be like, Logan, stop it, knock it off. And then he'd walk away. Well, one day I'm watching TV, and I hear him licking, and I'm like, Logan, stop. And he won't stop. I'm like, Logan, knock it off. And I go over there to where he's at, and before I can get to him, I hear him going, he starts choking. He choked on his own penis. I'm not joking on that. That is disgusting. It was the most disgusting yet impressive thing I've ever seen. God bless him. R.I.P. Logan, and you're a huge hog. A California man earns a world record for 2,995 consecutive Disneyland visits. I'm not saying he's on a list, but if he was on a list and wasn't allowed near, say, elementary schools, I wouldn't be surprised. That's all I'm saying, okay? Moving along from that one. A woman accidentally ate a $120,000 heart-shaped crisp. There was some potato chip company that was doing a contest. If you found this chip that was shaped like a heart and you found it, they would pay you like $120,000. She didn't know about it. She took a picture of it, sent it to her friends, and I believe posted it on social media. She's like, oh, how adorable. And then she fucking ate it. She didn't know about the contest. She ate $120,000. How horrible would you feel at that? Oh my God. Next time you see a bill come in, you're like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to, afford to pay this all right now. I'm going to have to do payments. Sure would be nice if I wasn't so fucking hungry for potato chips. Man. Now, that being said, the potato chip company, she at least took a picture of it. You would think that they would give her something. I'm curious. I'm curious about this. Will they end up giving her something? Give her like I don't know, a box of chips, something. My God, I'd be so fucking pissed off. That's like lottery tickets. I'm always like nervous. I've never fucking won shit, but if I play it, it would be my luck that I would accidentally lose it. Like it'd be high winds that day. I'd be like, oh my God, I won like $5 million or whatever the jackpot was. And I'm so excited. Be like, yes, we did it, honey. And then the wind blows it away. And I'm like, fuck you, God. Fuck you. And then I get struck by lightning. Be like, oh, well, apparently he is real. Oh man, that would be, or I would just like somehow rip it or just lose it somewhere. Oh, that'd just drive me nuts. Anyway, yeah, I didn't want to get into those. Do you like that? Is that fun? I kind of like that. So it's kind of like a rapid fire through these headlines because there's some that are just like, you don't want to spend too much time on it. Just give a quick rant and go. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. I truly appreciate each and every one of you for listening. Like I said, this is a record-breaking month, and I'm just so titillated by it. I can't thank you enough. Seriously, I might go triple the most listened, most downloads for a month. I'm already well past double the amount of downloads for the month, for the busiest month ever. However the hell I'm supposed to say that. I'm sorry. but I'm creeping up on triple, and that's just mind-blowing to me. So all I can say is thank you. Thank you so much. It's bizarre that we're at this point, that it's the shortest month of the year, and it's going to be my busiest, and that's very cool. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Keep subscribing or making your friends subscribe. Steal their phone, make them subscribe, and make them do the auto download. If you could, please, that would be great. They'll never know, whatever. And then if they stumble upon it, they're going to be like, oh, okay. They'll listen to it, right? And I know Josh and so many of you Dave, all you guys that are constantly interacting with me, and I'm not doing anybody justice because I can't remember anybody's name right now, but all of you out there, Brad, so many people that listen and interact on social media. I truly appreciate each and every one of you, and I can't say thank you enough. And when I say thank you to somebody on social media or on here, I'm not blowing smoke up your butt. I truly appreciate you guys. It's awesome. You guys help get the word out that this is a podcast that's worth listening to for the most part. So yeah, there's some days. Some days I don't know. I'm just being bitchy. I haven't taken a bowel movement and God knows how. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm very frequent. Okay. By the way, never mind. There was a second you're like, is he going to talk about his bowel movements? Oh my God, that's disgusting. Thank you guys so much. If you get a second, send a tweet to Mark Schlereth and say, I can't believe you did that to DeHuff. You should be ashamed. You must feel shame. And he'll be like, dude, get over it. It's been 3 years. Is he still riding my coattails? Yeah, I am. Okay, Mark? Jeez. Whoa. Don't you attack me, you big goddamn gorilla. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. Hit that subscribe button. Share it with your friends. If you're able, go ahead and give it a nice review. Thanks so much to Superbook Sports Colorado, as well as Blake Street Tavern. Go check them out at 23rd and Blake in downtown Denver. It's DeHuff Uncensored. I appreciate all of you. Let's keep moving forward. I'll talk to you next time.
Audio Jungle.